What's up, everybody? This is Siberian Tiger coming at you with a comparison slash review video for the General Grievous premium format figure. The one on the right is pretty much brand new as of the making of this video. I believe it came out in 2022, so it's been around for a little bit. Still available for anybody who's interested. The one on the left is long sold out and came out in 2005. I forget the edition number, but there was an exclusive version and a standard version. The one I have is a standard version, but I had a custom cape made. The cape was the exclusive, only available at Sideshow, which to me is basically like kind of a necessity for the character. It just adds so much to the look of him. So if you're gonna get one, get the exclusive. But as far as the right one goes, the newer one, they all come with the cape. There's no exclusive or any particular gimmick item that's available only at Sideshow. It's anywhere you get this guy, you're going to get the same exact version. There's 2,000 of that one made. The one in the middle, if you're wondering, is a actual figure. There's a 1/6 scale Sideshow version. This is like the 2.5 version of this figure, which originally came out a few years ago, had a lot of quality control issues. The new one also did, and probably always will. But if you are patient enough to be able to pose it and find the right thing, the settings to make it not fall over, it's an awesome looking figure. But it comes with a lot of baggage, let's just say that. But we're not here to dwell on that guy. We're here to talk about this guy, the one that's on the right here. But let's get into the actual comparison slash review. Let's start off by checking out the 2005 version. Again, this is a standard version with an exclusive cape. I actually worked at a wholesale fabric company, and I found this one looking through thousands of fabrics, and really happy with the results. I think it matches what the movie looked like pretty well, but that's neither here nor there. For its time, this thing was, probably my favorite piece. I remember seeing this at a comic convention years ago and just like being blown away by it, seeing how big it was in comparison to all the other collectibles I've ever seen. Like, this is the one that kind of inspired it for me. The next level of collecting, I should say. Going from like Spawn figures to seeing something like this was kind of a big deal. Like I said, I believe this is about 17 years old and it still holds up really well. But when you compare it to the new one, I think the new one takes the cake. This thing is super fragile. It does have some metal elements to it. I believe a lot of the arms and legs and stuff like that actually do have like some metal in there. Whereas all the bone colored things are plastic and extremely fragile. All the fingers are just, you can almost breathe on them and break them. You'll see a lot of these things on eBay damaged. Probably get a good price on that if you're good at repairing things or good at hiding them. But as far as pluses go for the old one, something general basically is like the lightsabers are removable. The blades, I should say, not the sabers themselves, but the blades are removable, which for me personally helped a lot because this thing takes up a lot of real estate, especially with how the lightsabers go in the back. So this thing could take up a lot of depth. The arms are kind of like flimsy. It can be posed, not posed, but if you, for me, I put some inside here back in the day where the goes into the gap. If you put some like tissue paper in certain angles, you can have it, sit up differently. But that's a whole project that you could do on your own if you so choose. Point this out here. up in here, you can see the center part of his waist armor is actual the same color as everything else. Whereas on this one, it's hard to say now because I already painted it, but the center here where it looks like an upside down shark's tooth was painted the bone color, which is not a correct representation. So I went ahead and kind of took it off. It's glued on a little, not much. It's easy to take out, and I just went ahead and painted it to match up. And it definitely, you know, for me personally, helps out a lot. You know, even the original figure did it right. Speaking of which, doing it right, we have the white lines here, racing stripes, whatever you want to call them. I'm not sure, but just a little added pop of detail, which is on the original figure, the original premium format, but missing on the actual new statue. So I'm not sure what they were thinking there. Maybe trying to save a few cents on the paint. I don't know. Or they just didn't care. The base for the original, I love it. Like, it almost looks like you want to wipe those stones out there because they look so real, but they're actually part of the sculpt. Basically, I guess the floor where Obi-Wan Kenobi jumps down and says hello there. I think that's basically what this scene's trying to represent. It's telling the story. He's coming, walking at you, probably flipping around his lightsabers. Use your imagination. You know, as far as these two go, well, I took the head off. Let me give you a comparison just to show you. Like I said, these are supposed to be quarter scale, and you can see a substantial size difference in the new one and the old one. So I'm pretty much convinced that the old one is more of a 1/5 scale, whereas the new one definitely is a quarter scale. But I kind of lost my train of thought. Where was I going? I don't know. Give you a general up and down of this guy. That you're probably more than likely waiting to see the newer one. I guess one thing that kind of bothers me is how these scuffs are just painted on, you know, like general Sideshow weathering paint job. You know, not too much time and thought went into it, but you know, good from far, but far from good. But overall, an awesome statue for its time. It even holds up to, you know, today's standards in most cases. So I'm not going to take anything from this. It's an awesome statue. I'm very happy that I've had it for all these years. I may end up selling it. I'm not quite sure. My wife always tells me this one is her favorite, still is to this day, even after seeing the new one. But as far as me and the kids, they've basically all said this is maybe their new favorite, or at least out of the two, the new one's better. So on that note, let's move on to the new one. Here we go, moving up to the head sculpt here. Like I said, this is limited to 2,000 pieces. Currently, as of the making of this video, it is still available on Sideshow. I believe it retails for 900, maybe more, but you know, with taxes and the shipping, it's definitely going to be a pretty hefty price. Is it worth it? I mean, maybe 5 years from now, when this thing sells out, I would say yes, but as far as now, you could definitely get it for cheaper. You know, I got it for less than half of the asking price. So you can definitely find some good ones out there. I got it off of eBay, did the pay in full plan, so really happy with the price I got it for. But just to give you some details, like I said, he's way bigger. I know he's hunched down, but just imagine if he was standing at the same pose as this guy, he would probably be up to here, you know? So generally, I'm not sure how tall General Grievous is. General, no pun intended. I would assume he's got to be somewhere around 7 feet if he stood up tall. but he walks around like a bird, so he's always hunched. And in this pose, you can see he's got his foot kind of landing on here. This is like the interior control area of the, what is it called? The invisible hand. I was going to say hidden fist. But the invisible hand, that's the name of his ship that he meets up, where he captures Obi-Wan and Anakin. Does that little battle. Never actually separated his arms or used his lightsabers, so this is kind of a use your imagination scenario. But as far as the base goes, really well done. Super bright, popping colors. It would have been really cool if this was like a light up thing. I know it would be nearly impossible to have light up lightsabers, but at least for the base, that could have worked out really well. But there is a small gimmick that if you put a black light up to this, it will glow pretty bright. I think I mentioned before that the lightsabers are removable on the old one. As far as the new one goes, they're glued in place, and the lightsabers are substantially bigger. I guess here's an old one compared to the new one. You know, I've heard my wife and one of the kids say that the lightsabers are just too much. Too big. That's what she said, right? You know, literally. What are you gonna do? Sorry, this isn't comedy hour. This is some bad jokes. Anyway, moving on. We got this lightsaber here. As you can see, it's hard to tell, but it's slightly warped. The material that this is made out of is like if I had to guess, some sort of plasticky resin or just straight up plastic. So it definitely has a lot of give to it. But with that comes some flaws, such as some warpage. You know, if you're gonna have this near a window in an attic somewhere in the heat, it might start melting. But as you can see in here, kind of like his rib cage area, another spot where it's kind of like, you can see this here, this is supposed to be curved along with this, but kind of like, I guess it was sitting too much in the box before I got it, and it kind of warped it a little bit. Like I said, this thing was originally painted the bone color, which I'm not a fan of, so obviously I went ahead and painted it to match. As far as the cape goes, got a nice printed diamond pattern, looks really cool. Cape is fully posable. If you hate posing capes and fabrics, this is going to be your biggest enemy, but it's something I enjoy doing. I really like the way this turned out. Kind of has like a swishing motion, and all the wiring is throughout. Got a lot of details on here. When I first opened this, I'm like, whoa, I thought somebody used it as like a wash rag, but you can see it's like painted on, airbrushed, really nicely done. Definitely seen a lot. Nice screen print for the logo. Some more screen printing. You know, General Grievous has a lot of cool logos and themes going on with his outfits. Give you a close up of some of the sabers. I mean, this one looks kind of like an Obi-Wan Kenobi. This one kind of looks like a Darth Vader. Not sure what that one is, but get you some more details here. The neck area, some hoses and then stuff like that. But as far as the chest goes, I would have liked to have seen a clear resin thing like on the original, but it's actually a solid dark green gloss, high gloss painted chamber for his guts. One other thing that I changed up was a little detail thing. This was completely silver, where screen accuracy, there's actually like a red logo, so I went ahead and painted that on there. But overall, I love the statue. I think it's really cool. It's something every time I walk in the room that I haven't posed in, you know, I can't help but turn my head and just give it a quick look. I mean, the same thing can be said for this. But either way, you can't lose. If you can find a really good deal on the one on the left, you can't lose. But if you're going for the presence and the size and the quarter scale, then you're definitely going to want to look at this one. But just to give you another general comparison, this is the 1/6 scale figure up front. So overall, definitely recommend the one on the right if you had to choose. Very happy with how it turned out. So there you go. That's basically the end. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to leave any comments or questions. Be happy to answer. Thanks for watching. What's up, everybody? This is Siberian Tiger coming at you with a comparison / review video for the General Grievous premium format figure. The one on the right is pretty much brand new as of the making of this video. I believe it came out in 2022, so it's been around for a little bit. Still available for anybody who's interested. The one on the left is long sold out and came out in 2005. I forget the edition number, but there was an exclusive version and a standard version. The one I have is a standard version, but I had a custom cape made. The cape was the exclusive, only available at Sideshow, which to me is basically like kind of a necessity for the character. It just adds so much to the look of him. So if you're gonna get one, get the exclusive. But as far as the right one goes, the newer one, they all come with the cape. There's no exclusive or any particular gimmick item that's available only at Sideshow. Anywhere you get this guy, you're going to get the same exact version. There's 2,000 of that one made. The one in the middle, if you're wondering, is a actual figure. There's a 1/6 scale Sideshow version. This is like the 2.5 version of this figure, which originally came out a few years ago, had a lot of quality control issues. The new one also did, and probably always will. But if you are patient enough to be able to pose it and find the right thing, the settings to make it not fall over, it's an awesome looking figure. But it comes with a lot of baggage, let's just say that. But we're not here to dwell on that guy. We're here to talk about this guy, the one that's on the right here. But let's get into the actual comparison / review.